Andeisha Farid is a remarkable woman. From humble beginnings, she has amounted to what many from privileged backgrounds can only dream of, especially when coming from Afghanistan.
You know, it's so easy when we think about a country like Afghanistan to be focused on the challenges. But when you talk to Andeisha, you see a very different side of Afghanistan. You see a proud and extraordinarily passionate woman who believes the best is yet to come.
I think she understands probably more than many people what it's like for parents to have to make the choice to give their children up to somebody else to raise because they can't feed them and they can't offer them basic security.
Most of the children in the orphanage program, they have gone through a very sad and bleak life. They lost their parents or one of their parents during the war. They are the victim of child labor. They have been abused sexually or emotionally. Security threats everybody's life in Afghanistan. For the children particularly, I think it's one of the biggest responsibilities on AFSICO and on my colleagues and on the staff living in the orphanage.
So Andeisha started the Afghan Child Education and Care Organization, which runs 10 orphanages in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Her unprecedented work has caught the attention of one of the biggest networks in the U.S., NBC.
We brought you a story that has since become one of the most popular we have ever done in terms of viewer response. 67 girls and a handful of boys, and every child here came from tragedy. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. Most of them have lost parents to war, 30 years of it, attacks by the Taliban, even U.S. bombing after 9/11. But there's never been a happier place that rose out of so much tragedy.
They came from different backgrounds, mostly, of course, very sad backgrounds.
This news report brought in a terrific response from across America.
I just ran from home to office to check the emails. Most of the emails were donations, one-time donations, and sponsorship, new sponsors for the children. You know, it was some sort of surprise for everybody to receive, you know.
They received so many emails at the orphanage, Andeisha feared their computer server would be overwhelmed with offers to sponsor these children. The money is still pouring in. Nightly news viewers have donated over $50,000 so far. That guarantees these children food, shelter, and education, and the ability to live independently knowing they are loved.
A sponsorship program, and I can feel a very positive and a huge impact on the life of the children in our orphanages, how their knowledge improved. For example, the first time a child gets sponsored, the most important thing for them is to know that where the sponsor is from. They search on the map, they try to find the capital of that country, they try to learn more about that country. It's sort of to share their culture as well. The two-way communication between the children and their sponsors, it also impacts their families. Examples are they had sort of negative understanding of they were influenced by Islamic fundamentalists. Unfortunately, we have been the witness of some bombing of Afghan civilians, and there was many casualties. But when they see on the other side that there's people who care for their children, there's people who provide the education facility for their children, there's people who give really the life for their children, this also changed the families as well.
Andeisha has just received the Entrepreneurial Achievement Award from Vital Voices, an NGO that identifies, trains, and empowers emerging women leaders and social entrepreneurs around the globe.
The skills that a business entrepreneur requires and the skills that a social entrepreneur requires are not all that different. They all have to identify a need, figure out new ways to serve it, secure resources, bring people together, and really come up with novel ways to address complex problems. That's what all entrepreneurs do.
Last night in Washington, they honored Andeisha Farid.
Andeisha Farid, an extraordinary woman from Afghanistan who's taken great risks to educate the next generation, one girl at a time. And together they point the way to a future where progress is shared and prosperity is sustainable. So together, they represent the incredible talents of women entrepreneurs and remind us that countries that educate and empower women are countries that are far more likely to prosper. I believe that.
Today, she poses with Hillary Clinton, but Andeisha Farid comes from a very different past. She spent her childhood living in refugee camps outside of Afghanistan. In Pakistan, she began tutoring other Afghani women and children who had no place to learn. Andeisha moved back to Kabul in 2007 and started the Afghan Child Education and Care Organization, supported by US-based CharityHelp International. Today, AFCICO helps over 450 children of diverse ethnicities.
Her whole strategy is around building a new generation of leaders for Afghanistan and not letting these young boys and girls feel sorry for themselves, but rather feel that they are chosen. They are very special, and that with the right education and love and support, they can help her country, fulfill its potential.
When I see all these girls or the boys or the small children, when I see their happy faces, I see a future in them, and a bright future. And I'm sure I'm doing a difference for Afghan people.
As former United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan once said, to educate girls is to reduce poverty. With people like Andeisha helping future generations, Afghanistan certainly stands a chance at becoming a very beautiful place again. For more information on how you can help, please visit www.afcico.org today.